We begin tonight with the biggest escalation in the war in Ukraine since the invasion itself. Russia's Vladimir Putin is threatening nuclear war and warning the West he's not bluffing. It comes after humiliating defeats on the battlefield in Ukraine, and in a move not seen in Russia since World War II, Putin is calling up hundreds of thousands of reservists. The announcement was met by intense anti-war protesters across Russia, with more than 1,300 arrests. And another sign of just how unpopular the war has become, one-way flights leaving Russia are selling out. Prices are skyrocketing as people try to flee that country. President Biden condemned Putin in a speech before the United Nations General Assembly. He accused Russia of violating the core principles of the UN. We have a lot of news to get to tonight, and we begin with CBS's Debora Patta, who is on the front lines there in Kharkiv, where Ukrainians are gaining more ground. Good evening, Debora.
Good evening. As many as 300,000 Russians face the draft. Those with medical expertise are being conscripted with immediate effect, and we understand that call-up papers are already being handed out.
Putin's back is against the wall, and he is playing dirty. A sore loser, but a dangerous one, upping the ante by threatening to use nuclear weapons. We will use every means at our disposal to protect Russia and our people, he said, adding, this is not a bluff.
No one other than Russia sought conflict.
President Biden making it clear at the UN that it was Russia that declared war in the first place.
This war is about extinguishing Ukraine's right to exist as a state, plain and simple.
Speaking later in a recorded statement to world leaders at the same UN assembly, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Ukraine wants peace. Europe wants peace. The world wants peace. And we have seen who is the only one who wants war.
This is why Putin has raised the stakes. He's suffered humiliating losses on the battlefield.
This is how far Ukrainian soldiers have pushed back Russian troops. The nearest Russian border post just over 2 miles down this road, which is why we have to be quick, because even though this village is liberated, Russian artillery can still strike here.
Both sides are losing men. Today, Russia's Minister of Defense said nearly 6,000 of their soldiers have been killed. But according to estimates from the US, Russian casualties are closer to 80,000. Putin's so desperate, he's been reduced to recruiting convicts. The head of the mercenary group Wagner was filmed in a prison, offering freedom in exchange for fighting on the front line. But it's not going down well at home. Resistance to the draft has sparked demonstrations in several cities, including Moscow and St. Petersburg. Over 1,200 protesters have been arrested. And as Putin's desperation grows, Ukraine's resolve hardens. They're not stopping now, fighting with their hearts.
Do you get a break now?
No.
No break?
No break from 24 February.
Non-stop?
Non-stop. I have more motivation than tireless.
Yeah.
Putin plans on holding referendums in territory seized just east of here to force through a vote to become part of Russia. This sets the stage for him to claim an attack on any of those regions is an assault on Russia. Jerika?
Yeah, similar to what we saw in Crimea. Thank you, Debora.